Hi, I'm Chris Maddock, designer of the Harmony House.
How can you improve upon a net zero energy home? How about becoming a net zero energy family? What that means is the family should consider their next big energy use, transportation. By walking, biking, or using public transit, you've eliminated your transportation energy needs, except for a bit more food, of course. And for those times when a vehicle is still needed, how about a net zero energy vehicle? That would be something like a plug-in electric vehicle that uses electricity generated by your home. By powering your vehicle in this manner, you've not only eliminated greenhouse gas emissions, but you'll also help pay off your on-site generation system quicker by making fewer trips to the gas station. Kind of a neat idea, huh?
Because a lot of the work we do is quite leading edge, we need to take an interdisciplinary approach and connect with some of our other team members so that we can learn from each other. Recently, I spent some time with Phillips, Senior Manager of Technology Development, to get some more information around electric vehicles and how Les and Linda can use this technology in their new home. So Mark, the average homeowner uses about 10,000 kilowatt hours a year. What will a car like this add for their load?
About another third, if you think about it in terms of the average driver drives 17,000 kilometers a year, and that translates into a round number 3,400 kilowatt hours.
So is that going to have a big impact on our system?
Well, you know, perhaps, and you know, it's kind of a complicated question, and you know, BC Hydro got this car and a couple of others like it so that we can start to quantify the impacts of all of that. We think we're fine from a generation and transmission point of view, but in the short term, you know, we're going to have to be mindful of the impact on distribution at a very localized neighborhood by neighborhood level. And what we're going to want to encourage people to do is start thinking about when they charge. If they can charge off-peak, then I think we're going to be okay for many, many years to come. But if everybody comes home right after work and plugs their cars in, all at the same time when they're cooking dinner and watching TV, it could create issues for us.
Okay. So will Les and Linda have any advantage over a neighbor, say? Can they use this car as a battery of some sort?
Yeah, not today, but you know, in the not too distant future, you'll be able to draw power out of these vehicles and probably first and foremost use it as a backup power supply for your home. So for example, if there was an outage, they'd be able to use the car to keep the freezer cold and to keep their computer running. I mean, the batteries in them are big. I mean, they're 16 kilowatt hour batteries, so there's lots of capacity to keep a house going for, you know, for overnight.
Okay. Well, thanks for that, Mark. Why don't we head over to the Harmony House now and we'll take a look at the garage. You can tell us what they need to do for wiring there.
Sounds good. You want to take the car?
Sure, that'd be good.
Okay, we'll hop in. I'm going to unplug it.
Okay. Hey, what's with this? I didn't expect to drive.
Well, you know, not all electric cars are going to have right-hand drive. We just brought these over from Japan. They were early off the production line in advance of North American release. North American release is going to be this fall for this car and most others.
Okay. So
when they come out, we're going to get the cars designed for North America with the steering wheel on the left.
Perfect.
So you go around the other side, I'll get in here.
I can't drive?
Yeah, you can drive.
So, what do we do first?
Well, just like any other car, put our seatbelts on.
I can do that.
Okay, so on the steering column on the right-hand side, there's a key. Put your foot on the brake, turn the key, and hold it over until you hear a bing bing noise. Okay. Perfect. The car's started. Not very noisy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so other than that, all the controls are very much like a car. There's a shifter here. There's 3 driving modes. D is like automatic transmission. Eco is sort of a governed back version that'll get you a little extra range because it won't accelerate as quickly. And then B is for additional boost from the regenerative braking.
Okay. So you use that when you're rolling downhill or something like that?
Yeah, you know, when you're coming down the cut in North Van or whatever, you pop it into B and you can put kilometers back into the battery.
Perfect.
So over here we've got on the instrument panel, pretty simple instrument panel. On the right hand side there's a gauge that tells you how many kilometers you have left in the charge. On the left it's just like a standard fuel gauge, tells you kind of where you are relative to empty.
Okay.
And then there's a dial indicator there that shows you how you're driving. So when it's in blue, it means you're regenerating through the regen braking. When it's green, where it says eco, you're driving carefully and you're optimizing the range from the battery. And anything over past that means you're a little bit heavy-footed.
Okay. Guess I gotta watch that, eh?
Gotta watch that.
Okay. All right. So, foot on the brake,
Yeah.
into D, and brake off.
Perfect.
Ready to go?
Yeah, ready to roll.
Well, Mark, let's just step into the garage here and you can tell me what we'll be looking for in the way of a location for the charging station.
Well, I'm guessing it's what's probably happened is the electrician has come in and pre-wired the garage with a 240 circuit and terminated into a junction box, and I'm guessing that's the one right there.
Okay.
And that wire would run back into the electrical room, into the panel, and yeah, and then when the guys show up to install the charging station, they'll just hardwire it into that junction box, hang the charging station off the wall, and it'll be ready to go. It's pretty easy.
So, tell me, is there a particular location you want it at the front of the garage, the back of the garage, or?
You know what? I think this has been ideally located because the problem today is that there's no standardization around where the port on the car is located. You know, so
Okay.
for example, the Chevy Volt is on the left-hand front quarter panel. The Nissan Leaf, it's on the front center.
Okay.
The Mitsubishi IMEV on the right rear. So they're all different. So I think by putting it kind of centrally located, then the homeowner, depending on the car that they choose, they can back in or come in frontwards and access the court.
Okay, so we're in good shape here. I can show you where the electric panel is and
Yeah, let's go have a look.
how we're going to be monitoring the power use here.
Right on.
Okay, let's go. Electrical panel's just in here, Mark. As you can see, they haven't completely finished with the circuit breakers and so on, but all the wiring is to this location, obviously. And so what will we see here for the charging station?
Well, I'm guessing that the contractors run a 240 conduit into the panel somewhere, one of these knockouts, and all he'll do is install a dual pole breaker switch, probably 40 amp. Pretty straightforward.
Okay. So you can see these other electric boxes that we have as well are for the home energy management system that I was telling you about. And so using CTs and receivers and all sorts of gadgetry, they'll have a system that will allow the homeowner, Les and Linda, to take a look at what they're using for space heating, water heating, major appliances, as well as the electric charging station. And then they can change their behaviors if they want to save a little energy here and there.
So where would you see, for example, what electricity is coming in off the roof and the solar panels?
Good point. There is another channel that's dedicated to that. And so they'll be taking measurement off of the inverter, and that will also be displayed on the little display. So we'll have a small display in this room that will have bar graphs just showing where the energy uses are on each area that I described. And then they can also access that same information off of their computer in the office or wherever they want, because there'll be a wireless system here, and they can take a look on the Samsung Galaxy Pad, for instance, to take a look at what their energy use is.
So they'll be able to see literally what comes off the roof going right into the car.
Anytime, yes. And so the system was sized to manage an electric car for the home.
Sorry, the solar system?
That's right, the PV system. And so they'll be able to virtually drive for free.
That's
They pay for the
fantastic.
system.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Okay,
All
well,
right. Well, good stuff. Let's go.
yeah, we'll take a look back out here again.
Hey guys.
Hey, it's the Corix guy.
Hey, how are you? I just
Good
finished
day.
installing a new smart meter.
Right on. Well, I'm Mark.
I'm Mark.
BC Hydro, this is Gary.
Hi, nice to meet you, Guy. All right.
So what have you been doing out there?
Well, I started to install the new smart meter for you today.
Okay.
You want to show us? It'd be great to have a look at
Yeah,
that.
and I'm just wondering if you could tell me how your system interacts with the smart meter.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I can tell you what I know about that.
Sure,
Okay, well, let's
great.
go out and have a look.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, this is your new smart meter here.
All right, well, it's the first time I've seen one, but I was talking with someone about what we're looking at, and it's got a couple of different channels. And so we're looking at the first channel that's telling us how much power is being used, the energy delivered from BC Hydro.
Right.
And so it'll cycle through different programs telling us information about the meter. And then there's a second channel that will tell us how much energy is being produced by the photovoltaic system on the roof.
Right.
And it will be used to provide a bill for the customer on what they used on an annual basis. Was there more production off the roof than what the house actually used? And if there is, then they'll get some money back from BC Hydro. That's the net metering tariff. And yeah, so this will tell the customer how they're doing in relation to how close they are to being a net zero home. So they can come out and take a look, and if it's close to zero on channel 1, then they know that they've met their goal.
So the house could actually then conceivably never consume any BC Hydro electricity.
Well, it's not that it's never consuming, but on an annual basis, it'll
net out
to zero. So certainly in the middle of the night, they're not going to be producing power off the roof, and so they'll need it for their space heating and other appliances.
Does the house have any other systems that, like geo-exchange or any of that kind of thing? Or?
No, no. They're going to use air source heat pumps for space heating as well as the water heating. And so, you know, that's a very efficient way of providing heating.
So it would have low energy demand anyways, the house the way it's been constructed.
Yeah.
Combine that with solar panels.
Yeah. So you're looking, the house is going to use about 70% less or 80% less energy than a standard code-built home would today. And so they've reduced the requirements drastically. And so the systems that they need are pretty small.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
So yeah, it's going to be fun for Les and Linda to take a look at their energy bills and say, let's go laugh into the bank.
Excellent.
Smart meters can help us better manage our energy use by making us more aware of how we use energy. Smart meters can keep track of our energy use and show us, in our monthly statements or on an hourly basis through internet access, how we can save energy and money. Smart meters are a tool that will help us check what happened yesterday so that we can better manage the power we use today.